Stoic Seduction, the power of controlled passion. Imagine a figure standing in the chaos of a world consumed by need, calm, unshaken, untamed by the desperate hunger of others. They move with purpose, their silence speaking louder than words, their presence felt before a single glance is exchanged. There is no rush in their touch, no urgency in their desire, yet their control ignites something primal, something irresistible. They do not chase, nor do they beg. They do not fill the silence with meaningless words. Instead, they observe, waiting, not with hesitation, but with mastery. The world bends toward them, drawn to the gravity of their restraint, to the mystery they embody. In an age where everyone is desperate to be seen, they stand apart, needing nothing, yet commanding everything. Their passion is not absent. It simmers beneath the surface, contained like a fire behind steel. They know that true seduction is not indulgence, but discipline. The thrill lies in the anticipation, in the unspoken tension, in the quiet confidence of someone who holds all the power, yet wields it sparingly. To touch them is to brush against something rare, something sacred. They are present, yet just out of reach. They give, but never all at once. They understand that the mind, more than the body, is the battlefield of desire. And so they leave trails, unanswered questions, fleeting glances, and moments that linger long after they've gone. They do not conquer with force, but with absence, with the knowledge that mystery is the most potent form of seduction. To be wanted is easy. To be unforgettable is art. And they, masters of restraint, are the artists of desire. The gravity of absence. There is an undeniable power in knowing when to walk away, not out of disinterest, not as a game, but as a quiet reminder that one's presence is not a gift to be squandered. The Stoic seducer understands this well. They do not overstay, do not linger where they are not valued. Instead, they leave at the height of their presence, ensuring that their absence is felt more deeply than their touch ever could be. Longing is the heart of desire, and nothing fuels longing like distance. The world is full of those who give too much, too soon, who offer themselves so openly that there is nothing left to be craved. But the one who knows how to step back, who understands that space is a tool as sharp as a blade, becomes unforgettable. They do not disappear in haste. They leave with intention, with the certainty that their presence has made an impact. Their silence is not indifference. It is a whisper that lingers in the mind, an echo that grows louder in their absence. And so, those left behind begin to feel the pull, the invisible thread tightening, the slow unraveling of composure. The realization that what was once taken for granted is now painfully out of reach. It is in this space that desire transforms. It deepens, sharpens, becomes something more than just attraction. It turns into obsession, into a craving for something that can no longer be easily obtained. The Stoic seducer does not manipulate. They simply understand human nature, that people do not value what is readily available, that what is scarce, what is elusive, becomes priceless. They return when they choose, not when they are called. And when they do, it is never with desperation, never with pleading. It is with the same quiet confidence, the same controlled passion that first set them apart. And in that moment, those who thought they had moved on realize the truth. There is no forgetting someone who understands the power of leaving. For seduction is not in the pursuit, nor in the conquest. It is in the gravity of absence, in the way someone lingers even when they are no longer there. And those who master this art will never need to chase. They will always inevitably be followed. The slow burn of anticipation. Seduction is not in the rush. It is in the waiting. In the art of holding back just enough to make every moment stretch, every breath a question, every glance a promise left unfulfilled. The Stoic seducer understands that true power does not lie in instant gratification, but in the slow, deliberate unraveling of desire. They do not take. They let the other lean in. They do not chase. They let themselves be sought. They move through the world with the certainty of someone who knows that anticipation is more intoxicating than indulgence, that the mind, when left to wander, can create fantasies far greater than any immediate pleasure could satisfy. Their presence is a game of restraint, a masterclass in control. They touch without touching, holding eye contact a second too long, speaking with pauses that make the listener lean in, standing just close enough for heat to be felt, but never acted upon. They make the moment stretch, bending time until the air between them becomes thick with unspoken need. And then just when desire peaks, just when the other aches for something more, they pull away. Not as a punishment, not as a tease, but as a reminder that seduction is not about taking what is already given. It is about making someone want so deeply that they are willing to reach for it themselves. The mistake most make is in thinking that passion must be immediate, explosive, uncontrollable. The Stoic seducer knows better. True passion is a fire that smolders beneath the surface, never fully extinguished, always promising something deeper, something richer, something just out of reach. They master the pause, the unspoken, the restraint that turns longing into obsession. And in the end, they do not just create attraction, they create devotion, a hunger that lingers, a fire that refuses to die. Because the moment before the touch, the second before surrender, that is where true seduction lies. And those who understand this will never just be desired, they will be unforgettable. The elegance of indifference. Nothing is more seductive than the one who cannot be tamed. The Stoic seducer does not beg for affection, does not seek validation, does not crumble beneath the weight of longing. They exist in a space beyond desperation, beyond the need for approval, and it is this quiet indifference that makes them utterly intoxicating. In a world where so many crave attention, where people throw themselves into the arms of those who barely acknowledge them, the one who remains unmoved becomes a rarity. The more they hold their ground, the more others find themselves drawn in, desperate to break through the fortress of composure. Their power is not in coldness, but in a warmth that is carefully rationed. They give just enough, just a sliver of possibility, a brush of interest, a fleeting glance that hints at something deeper beneath the surface. And then, as soon as one reaches for more, they step back. Not as a game, but as a test. Will you crumble without their attention? Or will you prove yourself worthy of their time? They are the embodiment of control, and control is the highest form of allure. They do not over-explain, do not justify, do not overextend themselves. Their presence is an invitation, never a request. And if someone cannot meet them at their level, they will walk away without hesitation, knowing that true power lies in the ability to let go. Indifference, when genuine, is a force stronger than desire. It is the reason some people haunt the mind long after they have left. The reason why those who never had to fight for attention suddenly find themselves craving it. The reason why people who never beg begin to chase. The Stoic seducer knows that to be needed is a burden, but to be wanted without ever needing in return, that is freedom. And in that freedom, they become irresistible. A force that cannot be controlled, a presence that cannot be owned, a mystery that lingers long after the moment has passed. The power of presence and absorption. The Stoic seducer does not merely exist in a space, they dominate it, not through force, but through presence. They are fully there, entirely absorbed in the moment, exuding a quiet intensity that makes every interaction feel significant. When they look at you, they truly see you. When they listen, it is with a stillness that makes your own words feel more important. In a world of distraction, where attention is fractured and fleeting, their focus is magnetic. Most people are only half present, their minds elsewhere, their gaze is shifting, their energy scattered. But the Stoic seducer, they are deliberate. Their eyes do not wander. Their attention does not waver. And because of this, those in their presence feel something rare, an intoxicating sense of being truly acknowledged. But their power is not just in the way they listen, it is also in the way they withhold. They do not offer themselves too easily, do not spill their thoughts without purpose. They reveal just enough to captivate, leaving spaces in the conversation where curiosity can grow. The more they hold back, the more others lean in, aching to know more, to be let inside the world that they guard so carefully. Their presence is a gift, but never a guarantee. It is given with purpose and can be withdrawn at any moment. And because of this, those who experience it begin to crave it. They become addicted, not just to the seducer's words, but to the feeling of being truly absorbed in, the rare sensation of being in the presence of someone who values depth over noise. They master the art of making someone feel like they are the only person in the room, while simultaneously remaining just out of reach. It is this paradox, the feeling of deep connection mixed with the whisper of mystery, that fuels desire. It is what makes them unforgettable. For true seduction is not in grand gestures or extravagant words. It is in the quiet intensity of a moment fully lived, in the deep pull of someone who is both present and untouchable. And those who understand this will never struggle for attention. They will command it. The art of leaving them wanting more. The greatest seduction is never in the taking, it is in the leaving. The Stoic seducer knows that the most powerful moments are the ones that remain unfinished, the touches that never fully land, the words that hang in the air just before they are spoken. They do not give all of themselves, for they understand that mystery is the lifeblood of desire. They leave when the fire is still burning, when the tension is at its peak. They never overstay, never let their presence become expected or routine. Instead, they disappear just as their presence is most desired, slipping away like a dream that lingers upon waking. And in their absence, they become something more than just a person. They become a thought, an ache, an unfinished story that begs to be completed. Most people cling, they chase, they grasp, they give too much in fear of being forgotten. But the Stoic seducer? They know that longing is more potent than possession. They understand that people do not truly crave what they already have. They crave what they almost had, what was just within reach before it was gone. They leave behind a trail of glances that felt like promises, of words that hinted at deeper meanings, of moments that could have been something more. They do not give closure. They do not make it easy to move on. And because of this, they are never truly gone. They remain in the mind like a song half heard, like a touch that was never quite enough. This is the final art of seduction, to never be fully possessed, to always remain just beyond reach, just out of grasp, an enigma that refuses to be solved. And in the end, when they have long since moved on, when their presence has become a ghost in the memory of those they once captivated, they leave behind only one certainty: they were unforgettable.